This is an article for David Israel. It's called The Echoes of Izzy. David Israel will forever be big city to me. Excellent in entertaining and playing keyboards. I can see him now doing dance moves that only Izzy could do while playing the congas. The famous percussionist Mongo Santa Maria gave him when touring the United States of America with the Fenderman musicians. His connection to audiences made Izzy a talent extraordinaire, never ceasing to amaze, and we will find nothing to fill that void. As emotions run deep, letting go does not come easy. How do you say goodbye to an icon you've come to learn so much from? Amidst every provocation, he was the lifetime friend you thought would faithfully be there. And he was, for all of us, like sharing an unbendable bond with someone, never judging. He had a kind soul. Now in a world without him, we will miss his good-natured humor, and while commanding respect from everyone who knew him, Izzy had pizzazz. Yet we can still live in echoes of Izzy. There were times he was a companion for your soul, with comforting conversations, ever confirming you need to do what you need to do. When joining the current event Virtuosos as a lead singer, it was a personal privilege to work with professionals. That's when the musical adventure began. David Israel and Butch McGillis were two of the original members of the Fendermen who toured the United States for 11 years performing their hit song, Mule Skinner Blues. They were no strangers to the rock and roll era, working alongside artists like Buddy Holly, Buddy Knox, the Everly Brothers, along with Dr. Hook, to name a few. Izzy taught me a new way of learning by listening to artists like Roberta Flack, Shai Coltrane, Aretha Franklin, Gladys Knight, including the staple singers. He had a spontaneous spirit. In the magical moments of making music majestic and mesmerizing, he was special, always being a cut above. His exception to every rule made working with Izzy inspiring. It was 1971 to 1976, just off Jasper Avenue, in the heart of downtown Edmonton, Alberta. Joe Blevis, a well-known and respected restaurateur and businessman, employed David Israel and Jerry McGillis with the current event to be the resident musicians at the Embers for 5 fun-filled years. In the 7 years inclusive I sang with the current event, the rhythm section introduced new, exciting talent, some of whom were Bob Miller, bassist-singer from the Tommy Banks Orchestra, Robbie Marson, bassist-singer, Bobby Townsend, bassist-singer, Lenny Patterson, drummer, timbali player. During this time, the Westin Hotel brought in the Coliseum of Stars for Klondike Days, featuring Oscar award-winning Hollywood actors like Michael Douglas, musicians like Creedence Clearwater Revival, who remembered David Israel and Butch McGillis as part of the Fendermen from previous performances. At the Embers Steakhouse and Nightclub, Joe Blevis introduced the comedian's late-night talk show host Jay Leno, Jay Hoyle from Oklahoma, the naughty Bostonian Margie Leslie, and the infamous Liz Lyons. Kenny Rogers in the first edition graced the threshold of the Embers on their final tour before Kenny launched his solo career with the hit song The Gambler. These were exciting times for Butch and Izzy and the current event. CFRN-CTV in Edmonton hired the current event to do a pilot show featuring Jesse Jones called Sugar Beat. So for a season, we received valuable exposure in live TV performances. At Izzy's encouragement, Butch McGillis and I were hired by Al Anderson to sing jingles for Ched Radio, some of which were The Abominable Ski Shop, I'll Bet My Boots Are in Cahoots with Abominable, plus several promotions for Woodward's department stores, which ran inclusively for 3 years. Also a TV commercial for a home cleaning product called DD7. To be asked by Jim Bell, a sophisticated businessman with some of the most popular and best-run automotive centers in the city, if David Israel would have the current event do a JB Automotive jingle, proved to be an incredible experience. "Hey, Jimmy, can you fix it? Can you fix my car for me?" Jim just grinned and said, "Bring it on in," and he fixed it next to free. Ha ha. "Take your car to JB. Take a hint from me. Take your car to JB. JB Automotive. Oh, yeah. He did it right for me." The last rhythm section members of the current event were two of the very best and most exceptional musicians in town. John Logan on drums, currently an arbitrator for the city of Edmonton. Cliff Minshaw, bassist singer, presently at Long and McQuaid Music. Both accompanied me on a recording we did for my father to the music O My Papa, including a poem I wrote. Through Izzy's guidance, David Israel, Butch McGillis, Cliff Minshaw, and John Logan, along with myself, Deanna Wild, had this mixed at Damon Studios. Some Canadian and American radio stations played it for Father's Day. Izzy's daughter, Nicole Weinman, is definitely her father's child by saying, "Dad is the rock I can always count on. I'll do my father's poem as a comfort for you, Nikki, with deepest respect." Daddy, I have wondered how, in times like now, you would understand and just seem to know the right road to go to lend a helping hand. How silently you instilled in me the strength to shed doubt and stand by me that I might see what the world was all about. If you didn't have the patience, Dad, or the strength within your heart, or the confidence you instilled in me by the love you would impart, I could not have found the courage to stand on my own and face life and whatever it holds for me unknown. You've always stood for strength, truth, and knowledge beyond compare. with wisdom I've yet to learn or even know is there. But if the world could see all you've done for me, why, they'd realize why you are the very rock I stand on, Dad, my strength, my guiding star. I believe it was meant to be when God made you mine, for without you, I could not do the things I've done in time. I worship the ground you walk on, Daddy, and everything you do, for I realize you're the very eyes I've learned to see life through. That's why when I say thanks at night to the power who made you mine, though I still thank him for all I have, I thank him first for you. God knows I love you, Daddy, and I thank and praise the stars above for blessing me with all you are and you and all that love. When Izzy would fly into Edmonton on business to see his brother Donald Ray, who owned Ray Realty, he and Cliff Minshaw would frequent various local live music venues in the hometown. Dressed in a fedora and classy suit, with kunkahs being carried by lovely young roadies, musicians were always happy to welcome Uncle Izzy to the bandstand. The praxis of Izzy's life was entertaining. Being the king of kungas, word travels quickly when someone of David Israel's caliber comes to town. As reputation preceded him, adventure came calling when he was summoned to the podium by Prince to jam during a packed performance at one of Prince's liquor emporiums in his then hometown of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Being no stranger to the stage, yet again his star was born. Izzy's career did not stop in Edmonton. After moving to the United States permanently, he worked locally with various artists like Peter Kay, whom you can see with Izzy on YouTube. Look for Peter and the letter K on MPLS for live footage at Rudolph's in Minneapolis. With his proclivity for performing, Izzy also entertained with a group of musicians who were hired to journey overseas and play outside the US of A. Opportunities were made available. With his polarizing disposition and that personality personified, some would say he could make the lame walk and the blind see. My grandfather clock is the heartbeat of time. We don't know how many heartbeats we're born with. We don't know if we live forever. However, here is a provocative point. If Einstein's theory is true, that life's energy simply changes form, clearly the ones we've lost have absolutely moved into their future ahead of us, and it's we who are left behind, making the Bible quote, "Death shall have no dominion," not necessarily an esoteric allusion. They wait for us. In the voice of the universe, perhaps through the quantum physics of science, he'll feel the powerful vibes from we who love him. I'm going to believe that somewhere down that crazy river, we will see that smile again. So as Echoes of Izzy live on, remembering memories with the reminders that David Israel was not just one in a million, but one in the world will keep him alive in hearts and minds forever, because he who by our memory is a treasure. Shalom, Izzy. Peace be with you wherever you are. From friends who miss you, the current event members. We may not know what the future holds, but we know who holds the future. King James Bible, Isaiah chapter 4:5, verse 2. I will go before thee and make the crooked places straight. I will break in pieces the gates of brass and cut in sunder the bars of iron. I will give thee the treasures of darkness and hidden riches of the secret places, that thou mayest know that I, the Lord, who called thee by thy name, am the God of Israel. Biography for David Israel from Hadraft Epstein Memorial Chapel in Minneapolis, Minnesota, USA. David Izzy Israel, age 79, of Adena, passed away September 3rd, 2017. Loving husband, father, grandfather, and friend. He was preceded in death by his wife, Barbara. Parents, Lily and Simon Israel, and brother Donald Ray. Survived by children, Nicole Thomas Weinman, Bob Shelley York, and Davy York. Grandchildren, George, Nathan, and Emily. Izzy enjoyed traveling on the road for many years with his band, the Fendermen, and he also played with many local bands in the Twin Cities. He was a professor of congas and enjoyed teaching percussion. He had a real passion for life. Our Izzy is gone, but will never be forgotten. Wonderful memories and condolences from friends in the Twin Cities. Faith and Carl Schway. We just learned about Izzy. We always ran into him at Perkins. He was quite a guy. We will really miss him. We are saddened by his passing. Tani Haskamir. I'm honored to have known Izzy. He was my biggest fan, and I was his. I will miss him profoundly. I hope to see him once again. Until that day, baby, God bless you and keep you, and love you as he did all of us for knowing you. You were always the shining star amongst a bunch of dead planets. I love you dearly, Tom. Fred Axberg. Izzy sat in a few times jamming on the congas, and I loved it when he did. We had so much fun, me playing drums and him playing those congas. He showed me how to get that sound he had. A learning experience. Rest in peace, my friend. Inamorato. No longer a dead planet, now a star among the rest. Mohasanzada. Izzy was one of my favorite customers at TJ's of Adena. We will miss him very much. Everyone loved him and wanted to serve him, not because he was a big tipper, because he was interesting and funny. He always demanded, "Hot coffee, hon?" Richard Newworth. I haven't seen Izzy in many years, but once you met him, you never forgot him. He was out of sight on those congas and is now swinging the Angel Band. Dennis Fernkeys. I'm gonna miss this guy so much. We were frequent dinner partners at TJ's of Adena. Izzy always made me smile. Your friends at Little Hospice. Dear family and friends, it was our privilege to provide care for Izzy. We share in your grief and send our love. With deepest appreciation to the co-writers whose intellect I could not have found focused through fruition without. Thank you. Writer Deanna Wild, David Israel's friend and current event singer at the Embers Steakhouse and Nightclub, 1971 to 1976. Co-writers Jackson Turcotte, my husband, retired Air Force NORAD. Cliff Minshaw, David Israel's friend, singer-musician of the current event at the Embers Steakhouse and Nightclub, 1974 to 1976. Donna Bergen, my niece. Compliments to Mike Lawrence from Westside Computers for proofreading, pictures, printing, and posting on YouTube. In giving voice to the echoes of Izzy, thank you all for listening. Enjoy the current event pictures and Izzy with Peter K on MPLS on YouTube. Be sure to check them out. A big hello to all the friends and family and musicians who knew Izzy on both sides of the border. Canadian born, he lived under both flags. Please leave a comment. Never a Christmas morning, never the old year ends, but someone thinks of someone. Old days, old times, old friends.